This week on LandLeader Television.
We are the leaders of the land. Land is what we live on. It can be explored, built upon, and cultivated. Land holds our wildlife, crops and livestock, and the homes in which we live. It provides a resource for your family. It's what our forefathers settled and our brave fight to protect. It asks that you respect it, keep it free, and put back what you have taken. At times, it's purchased, sold, and traded, and it's passed on from generation to generation. So it's our duty as land brokers to be champions of conservation, habitat management, and ownership. We possess a deep love for our land and respect for all it provides. We are LandLeader.
The following segment is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors, farm, ranch, and recreational real estate.
My name's Eric Meyerhofer, and we're out here at the Starvation Peak Ranch. It's 1,145 acres deeded, but nobody ever seems to be out here. So effectively, you have just endless open space. We're about 25 miles to the west of Las Vegas, New Mexico, classic western town, and about 40, 50 miles outside of Santa Fe, headed to the east. Las Vegas has their municipal airport. There's also a larger airport that bring in jet aircraft, regional jets, in Santa Fe. The real allure of the place for me is the solitude. I work in the city, that's where I make my living, but I come out here and it's just a complete change up. You're about 2.5 miles off the Interstate 25, so it's pretty convenient that way, but once you get up here and get up on the mesa, you are in your own world. You have great wildlife up here. It's an interesting ecosystem. They have water systems, all these natural catch basins, and they have year-round springs and creeks that run up on this mesa. So the wildlife just have a complete habitat. It's very dark at night and very quiet. And I like that too, because you get a good star show. If you like that sort of thing, that silence just works its magic, taking you down a notch. The water system at the ranch is very well organized. I have a well. It's a 1,600-foot deep well. When it was drilled, there were 2 aquifers that were hit, and the second one came in at about 1,300, a much stronger aquifer. And when they punched that through, the well almost went artesian. It tested out at about 200 gallons a minute. It produces wonderful, beautiful, smooth, clear water. It pumps from the valley up here. I have 30,000 gallons of storage, and you have a commercial-grade water distribution system throughout the compound, both in domestic water delivery and for irrigation. The main house is about 4,500 square feet, and then it has about a 1,500 square foot portal on it. There's areas of the home with original style mud plasters, lime washed mud plasters.
The main home is a single-story structure and features a 3-bedroom, 3.5-bathroom floor plan. This home is truly amazing. Every aspect of the home has been thoughtfully placed and masterfully crafted, providing one of the finest examples of the historic northern New Mexico style in all of the Southwest. Each structure was custom planned, exhibiting a complementary combination of adobe, mud, plaster, stone, ornate tile, and reclaimed wood, with energy efficiency in mind. Finishes include custom-milled cabinetry, doors, windows, and shelving, tile and wood floors, smooth plaster, and rustic rock walls, reclaimed barnwood beams and ceilings. All interior and exterior fixtures, hardware, and other decorative items have been carefully selected for authenticity. In addition to the main residence, there are 2 guest casitas within the remote compound, with equally unique finish characteristics to that of the main home.
There's always things to do. You have to have something to base out of. So we've got a large 3-car garage. It's deep. The shop itself attached to it is a complete woodworking and metalworking shop. There's an old homestead in the valley below, just a historical artifact. The history on the mesa is even more extensive, going back 9,000 years. Native Americans, Spanish, people from the east, and that all intermixing. The soil's pretty lush, and so if you clear trees out, all the meadows come in. And when the meadows come in, that's where the animals go. There's a mix of a lot of different animals. You have different cats, you've got wild turkey, elk. They're usually a little further north. Hayden, when you look in the ranch and farm representation, I think they're just really solid. Hayden's got enough what I'd call luxury properties in that as well. And so when you look at the two, you go, that's just a perfect intersection of the two, the Venn diagram, if you will. Brent, I met him, he came up, no pressure. He had a very thorough proposal, which really impressed me. There was a real attention to detail.
Hi, I'm Brent Tedrick with Hayden Outdoors Real Estate. I'm an associate broker in New Mexico and Colorado. I became a land broker and chose Hayden Outdoors for the opportunity to best market land. All the tools and resources currently available in the real estate field are provided to you as an agent. Starvation Peak Ranch is a combination of flatland meadow, a mesa top, 360-degree views. The most prominent feature on the ranch is the view of Starvation Peak. The current owner leases the ranch for grazing to a surrounding owner on a seasonal basis.
New Mexico, you know, it's just got kind of its own special thing. The air and light of New Mexico, they always say, is something else. That's why they call it the land of enchantment. There's just something about it. It gets in your blood.
This segment was brought to you by OtterBox, building extraordinary products to enhance your life, and by Cinch Jeans and Shirts, the leader in premium Western wear clothing since 1996. The Cimarron Valley Ranch boasts over 45,000 acres of land spread along the historic Santa Fe Trail in Colorado and Oklahoma. This ranch runs along 22 miles of the Cimarron River and supports up to 2,000 cows using rotational grazing pasture, turnkey ranching operations, and ample water from the river and ponds to stock tanks and 10 pivot irrigated circles. Excellent hunting for elk, deer, quail, turkey, and more are found on this rare contiguous ranch. Call Dax Hayden for more information or visit HaydenOutdoors.com.
Out here, there's no boss, no 9 to 5, no vacation days. You see, this is more than a job. It's a calling. It's the sweat, the grit, the worry, the wonder, and the truth that you were born to lead this life.
LandLeader Television is brought to you by OtterBox. At work or at play, OtterBox enables your everyday. Cinch Jeans and Shirts, your leader in Western wear. Gunworks, 1,000 yards capable right out of the box. Western Heritage Consulting and Engineering, built on grit. Blue Otter polarized sunglasses, the very best. Covert Scouting Camera, top quality trail cameras with unmatched support. Swarovski Optic, perfection meets tradition. Kevin's Catalog, the place for Kevin's fine outdoor gear and apparel. And by Feed the Party, the best steaks and meats at the best prices. The following segment is brought to you by Corder & Associates, your trusted source for buying and selling farms, ranches, hunting, and vacation properties throughout Montana and Wyoming.
Welcome to Montana. My backyard is about to be your backyard. I'm here today representing a 450-acre property 385 acres of it are in a conservation easement. It is designed to protect the property and to keep it in its natural state. The owner has been meticulous about the weed control, meticulous about honoring the conservation easement.
I'm Kyle Duckworth, and we're here near Ronan, Montana, out on our waterfowl and pheasant hunting property. We're going to do some duck hunting here today. This is a property that's been in my family now since I was a youngster. It's really where I learned to hunt. It's just been a great property for me and my family. I've had a lot of fun sharing it with other people, and so it'll be equally special to see someone else have some of the same experiences with them, their children, their family that I had with my father. A large percentage of it is under a conservation easement. Some, like where we're standing now, isn't, but when my family first bought it, it was from a local farmer who had cattle and then planted grain, and it was an exceptional farming property for a number of reasons, one is which there's a lot of groundwater here. A large part of the farm was self-irrigating. When we bought it, we really wanted to turn it into a great hunting property. We kept some of the northern part of it outside of the conservation easement so that we could still plant crops. Ducks and geese just flock to this grain field that we're standing at here. One thing I like about it the most is it's one of the rare places I can go these days for solitude. It feels like anywhere you go, particularly when you try to go hunting and fishing, you run into hundreds of other people doing the same thing. Well, here, as you can see in the background, all you see is the mountains, my duck decoys, and our bird dog. We're really happy to have Kate as a realtor here, as she's got a great reputation in this area.
I fell in love with this property the minute I saw it. It just has such fabulous views of the whole area. There's 2 5-acre parcels that have been set aside where you could build your dream home and look out your window and see all of the Mission Mountains. You can go for walks and listen to the songbirds. We have so many songbirds in Montana. When I moved here, I couldn't believe it's an orchestra every day in the springtime. It's a private refuge of wildlife, and you can hunt ducks and geese and any fowl to your heart's content in season. There is just endless outdoor activities to do here.
This segment was brought to you by Gunworks, 1,000 yards right out of the box. And by Blue Otter Polarized Sunglasses. Don't settle for anything less than the best.
Honey Break Lodge is a majestic site towering over the cypress trees of scenic Larto Lake. With 6 lodge suites, 26 beds, and our camp that can host 96, Honey Break can accommodate any event. Visit us at honeybreak.com.
The Climber, a new ultralight design by Gunworks. The Climber is the pinnacle of lightweight, long-range design. Design yours at gunworks.com.
Land is where it all begins. From farmland and working cattle ranches to hunting properties and recreational retreats. We aren't your typical real estate agents. We choose boots over dress shoes and trucks over sports cars any day. We hunt, fish, raise cattle, and grow crops. We understand land.
Now you can live the Honey Break experience. We carry top brands in waterfowl and outdoor clothing, as well as a full line of Honey Break logo t-shirts, souvenirs, and gifts. Visit us at the Pro Shop or online at honeybreak.com.
The following segment is brought to you by California Outdoor Properties. It's a lifestyle.
Give us a call when you can.
Hello, my name is Jim Martin with California Outdoor Properties. Today we're on the Fountain Ranch in Hopland, California. Fountain Ranch is located approximately 5 minutes from downtown Hopland, which is a up-and-coming wine center for Mendocino County, 25 minutes or 30 minutes from downtown Hillsburg. Fountain Ranch literally sits on the Mendocino-Sonoma border. This whole area is really exploding in regards to vineyard development. The Fountain Ranch topography lends itself to spectacular views, overlooking the Russian River, takes in almost 4 miles of frontage on the Russian River. You have extensive vineyard views, river views, mountain views. The Fountain Ranch has its own mountain. It's called Twin Peaks. 2 peaks that come up and that tower over the ranch, the lake house on one side and the Russian River on the other.
Hi, I'm Peter Bradford. We're here at Fountain Ranch in Hopland, California. Fountain Ranch is basically about 110 miles north of San Francisco in Mendocino County. Since 1952, the ranch has been predominantly a cow-calf operation run by my family. We also concurrently grow hay for use by the livestock. Fountain Ranch also has 176 acres of irrigated pasture. We have excellent water rights on the Russian River at 2.3 cubic feet a second from May 1 till November 1, and we also have a 440 acre-foot licensed reservoir. Fountain Ranch was first purchased by my grandfather, G.P. Bradford, in 1952. He saw the potential of having this property as a added value to property he also owned in Anderson Valley. After he purchased it, my father and mother moved here, and I was born in 1953, and I've lived on the property and managed it for quite some time. My grandfather passed away in 1981, and at that point, my father and I became partners in the operation just as he had been partners with his father. When my father passed away in 2016, I became sole proprietor of Bradford Ranch, which was the operation that ran the livestock and operated the ranch. This house that's called the Lake House was built in the late 80s, completed about 1987, and it took about 3 years to build. And my father, Robert Bradford, designed every little inch of it and took great pride in the fact that this was his house and he wanted his family to live here and like it. He built it with every intention that it would last forever. It's built quite solidly. It has an amazing basement in it that was designed to the point where the Planning Commission looked at that and they said, "We have no idea, we've never seen anything like this before." My father said, "Well, I anticipated that, and I built a cardboard model of it." And he set the cardboard model down on the floor and stood on it. And he said, "If this can support my weight, imagine what one out of cement could do." Inside the lake house, there's a lot of wood paneling that was manufactured from trees that were on either this property or one over that we own in Boonville. It's also known locally as pepperwood, and it's a very beautiful wood, and it really glows in the light. The house has 3 bedrooms. Each bedroom has a bathroom. There is also a pool adjoining the structure to the house. It is 75 feet long. The pool house has an actual roof that can be rolled back, and the whole house is heated by natural gas. The house has its own solar panel setup, which generates more than enough power for the entire house all year round.
This segment was brought to you by Covert Scouting Cameras. Remain best in the game with Covert Scouting Cameras. And by Swarovski Optic. Perfection meets tradition.
be silent, and I want to be lethal. I want every advantage. With the new covert cell cameras, I'll finally have the edge I've been missing. The only way they'll know I'm here is if they hear my heart beating through my chest.
Here at Swarovski Optic, a lot of time is spent on perfecting a few great things until every idea we touch enhances every moment in the field. For a quarter century, the Swarovski Optic SLC has been making hunters' dreams become reality. Feel the wilderness every time you step outside.
The following segment is brought to you by California Outdoor Properties. It's a lifestyle.
Give us a call when you can.
So before the lake house was built, we lived in a big Victorian house that was built sometime after 1850. At that time, there was a train station on the property called Fountain Station. It was probably used as a stage stop or resting point for people coming on the county road, which was 101 at that time. Fountain Ranch also has an infrastructure that is designed and was built to work livestock as well as to irrigate all the fields for irrigated pasture. We have pumping stations on the Russian River for water that can be pumped to virtually all the fields that we have, as well as the 440-acre-foot lake, which is tied in. We have an excellent corral system for working cattle, and when I was partners with my father, we would generally run about 70 mother cows and calves here year-round, as well as 90 bred heifers for replacements. After weaning, we would have anywhere from 125 to 136 weaned heifers all summer long. The irrigated pasture was enough to sustain all those animals. The hay produced was enough to feed them in the winter. The corrals also have a registered livestock scale, so it was quite a good operation. The dam was constructed and finished about 1985. Father found a map in the old Victorian house, and it showed this one creek where the dam is, and somebody had drawn a line across the creek. He always wanted to build a dam at that location. So later on, when he had the monetary ability to do the construction, we started the process. It took us over a year to build the dam, and then a year to finish the spillway from the dam. Fountain Ranch has all kinds of different wildlife. We have black-tailed deer, we have feral hogs, we have bobcat, we have mountain lion, coyotes, an occasional bear that comes through. As far as recreation here on the property, there are, of course, a lot of wild pigs to hunt. There are deer. The lake is stocked with Florida strain black largemouth bass. Some of those fish get up to 12 pounds or more. In the Russian River, we have steelhead that come up annually. There is a huge potential for great production on the property with the irrigated ground we have now using as pasture and also the water resources. So when we were thinking about listing the property, my family decided that they would rather sell the property intact than split it up. I started looking for how best to market the property. And I had heard through acquaintances and friends of California Outdoor Properties. Jim Martin was a local agent, and he's done a very good job of marketing this property and getting it advertised nationwide.
I'm a rancher myself and a lawyer. I became a land broker and started working for California Outdoor Properties because of my passion for land. Fountain Ranch is one of the most iconic ranches in Northern California. To have the combination of attributes this ranch has is really unheard of. The lake house, which is a masterpiece of modern architecture. Normally, you either get a ranch that's a working ranch, hill-type cattle operation, or you get irrigated pasture land. This ranch is a rarity in the fact that it has both. Everything's in place for the next owner to carry on. It's a incredible package.
My goal for this property would be that it goes to somebody that can put the love and respect into it that my grandfather, father, and I have done since it was purchased.
For more information on how to feature your property on LandLeader TV, please visit landleader.com.